Hello everyone. Did you have a good September? Did you have a good Labor Day? Did you labor that day? I didn't. I actually had the day off somehow, which is something that's sort of a rarity for me. I hope you spent it well. We're here today to talk about video games, of course, as always. Played a lot of good things this month. Just really like a really wide variety of like classic games that oh, hold on. Well, got my tea, gotta let that steep for a minute. Oh, and I'm gonna come clean too. I actually played nothing this month. Nothing at all. Actually, I spent the entirety of the month playing, or it's not playing, but editing Resident Evil 6 video, which, as of recording, September 30th at 7:49 p.m., it's not done yet. But as of today, this video goes up, October 1st at noon. Hopefully it will be up. Or hopefully it'll be done, I mean. It's not going to be up. It's going to go up on October 2nd, which is tomorrow for you guys and 2 days away from me. I really, made a big effort to hit that October 2nd time frame that I really set out for myself, Because you're not going to believe this, but October 2nd is the 10-year anniversary of Resident Evil 6, so it seems like a good time as any to drop this thing. And I mean, I just have to get the music, do the I finished the rough cut. I just have to do the assembly, and it's hopefully gonna be good. I'm not trying to make a stinker here, you know what I mean? So let's talk about stuff. Because, I'll be gosh darned if this is going to be the first month I'm not going to do this video. I've made 8 already, and I intend to do finish the year out, okay? That's the goal, even if I didn't technically play anything. That's not strictly true, actually. I played a little bit of the game Save Room, which is a puzzle game based on the inventory management system from Resident Evil 4. It's literally that. It's amazing. It's really good. It's just, you literally just have to make sure your guns are loaded, make sure your health is full, and fit all of your items. And the health and ammo and items and stuff follow the same exact logic as Resident Evil 4. So you get your yellow or red or green, or mix them up. That gives you full health. Eat rotten eggs. That lowers your health a little bit so that you can take another health item and give yourself more space. You find. I guess this isn't in Resident Evil 4. You find mixing powders to make ammo. It's an excellent game, and I highly recommend it to everybody. But I probably only recommend it if you played Resident Evil 4, which is statistically all of you anyway. So that's fine. Yeah, that's it. I managed to do one stream. Was it one stream? Hold on while I look this up. I managed to do one stream where I played a little bit of Mass Effect. Now that game is highly enjoyable, and I'm gonna try to actually keep that one up. Oh man, it's been so long since I streamed, actually, that my VODs have cleared. which is not great for your channel. But hopefully, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, you know, this like timely Resident Evil video, you get a little bump, you know. At least like a little one. Doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be huge. So that's exciting. We're gonna continue though Mass Effect because that game rules. Later on in October, Resident Evil 8 Villages DLC releases and Persona 5 Royale releases. We're gonna be playing as Dax Kun. No, Dax was who we played as in Persona 4. We're going to be playing as Cash Wheeler-chan. That's going to be tons of fun, and I hope you join me for it. What else happened? Pro wrestling? Pro wrestling has been fucking wild. So the whole, geez, yeah, it was September 4th that this shit went down. So it becomes the September topic. Hell yeah, we're going to talk about this. So CM Punk, professional wrestler for AEW, famously did not get along with, and multiple lawsuits entailed, and all this other stuff with a former friend who they went up in the indies together, but then Punk went Hollywood. He sold out, went to WWE. Colt Cabana, his friend, you know, stayed true to the indies. Artist at heart, you know what I mean? And they went their separate ways, and eventually, career-wise, but they were still friends at this point. Eventually, CM Punk gets famously screwed over by the WWE. I don't even have to recap that one. Got real sick. WWE doctors wouldn't, like, treat him or something. He finally gets sick of it, walks out of the company, does the podcast with Colt Cabana, gets sued by WWE's doctor. But both of them get sued by WWE's doctor. Punk says, hey, don't worry about it, because he's the rich one of the two. Remember, Colt Cabana is just a humble podcaster and indie wrestler. He says, hey, I'm going to take care of these lawyer bills, don't worry. And then at some point, he says, hey, I'm not going to take care of these lawyer bills no more. And then it gets real complicated. They're like both suing each other for this money of the lawyer bills and stuff. And anyway, CM Punk is out of wrestling for 7 years. In the meantime, Colt Cabana is still banging it out in the indies. AEW forms. He's like the perfect dude, veteran indie wrestler to be in the locker room with all these young guys who are coming in from the indies themselves, most of them. Like, I think the initial AEW roster, who was like the Bucks and Kenny, they were in New Japan, that didn't count. Like young guys. I think Mox and Jericho were the only ship jumpers. Jericho only kinda, because he was just already on his way in there anyway. So Colt Cabana is in AEW for a couple years, then CM Punk makes his big grand return. Now, Colt Cabana sort of disappears off the map. He already wasn't like super featured. Like I said, he's not really the kind of guy. He's like an older dude, not super the guy you want to focus your product on, but definitely good to have around for the kids, you know? Like the wrestling kids. You know what I mean? So like, Punk comes back, huge animosity between the two, but Punk is a big star, so the rumor becomes that Punk got Cabana kicked out of the company, or at least demoted. The rumor is Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. The rumor is that he moved Colt Cabana's contract over to Ring of Honor in order to avoid having the two of them together. And that's great. But to the young guys who remember that they didn't grow up wrestling with CM Punk at this point. You know, you have the big MJF angle where they talk about him being a fan when he was a kid, sure, whatever. But that's like, we're talking 7 years of wrestling history. All this young independent talent. Who do they look up to going in? Colt Cabana, that's right. CM Punk doesn't have the street cred Colt Cabana has at this point. You know what I mean? The person watching, flipping channels on television knows who Punk is. They don't know who Colt Cabana is. But the people in the locker room, Colt Cabana is the man. So, you know, rumors start to swirl. They swirl and swirl and swirl until eventually Hangman Page in his, I promise this is all going somewhere, related to the month of September, I swear to God. So, in a program with Hangman Page, one of these young guys from the Indies, worked Ring of Honor when Colt Cabana was there. Definitely, you know, rumored to be good friends with the dude. He on TV, live television, they're cutting a promo against each other, and he makes some line about how no one in the back wants him, Punk, to be there. And Punk takes that mad personally, apparently. Because that line wasn't planned, and CM Punk took that like too hard. Because I think at this point there was already rumors of he and the Elite, you know, the Bucks, Kenny Omega, like the guys who like started the company. Already there's rumors that these guys, that, you know, they're kind of talking bad because these guys also, maybe not Kenny so much, but the Bucks for sure, also nurtured on the independent scene with Colt Cabana. Not CM Punk, but Colt Cabana. Kind of held it against him. So Punk takes this line from Hangman Page very personally. And like, wins the belt, breaks his foot, has to leave. In the meantime, Jon Moxley takes over as interim champion. And has, by the way, can we fucking talk about how Jon Moxley is seriously having like the run of the fucking year right now? He is like putting in the work to put on just like killer match after killer match after killer match, going all over the place, going, like doing New Japan shows, doing GCW shows, doing AEW shows. He like match of the night, almost like slotted in. He's just been killing it. So shouts out to Jon Moxley. But Punk finally comes back after like 2 or 3 months. Supposed to, because, you know, the champion and the interim champion, they're gonna collide. Supposed to work a program with Mox, but Hangman Page, excuse me, makes a comment about Hangman Page. Now, Hangman Page's original comments, I don't even remember, but I remember what he said about Hangman Page. He said, the apology should be as loud and as public as the disrespect. And that wasn't a planned line. Because, like, apparently nobody fucking knew he was going to go out there on a live microphone, live television, supposed to, you know, set up his thing with Moxley. No one knew he was going to go out there and talk about Hangman Page for no reason. They're not even planned to be working together, okay? It's unbelievable. So, and it's like weird too, because like the things that Punk was like allegedly angry at Hangman about, we're saying like they don't want him in the locker room, and apparently getting upset about the Colt Cabana thing. Now, I should take extra special mention to note, the Colt Cabana thing, totally alleged, not at all like, this is hearsay, rumors, speculation just based off the fact that Punk is a huge star. Colt Cabana doesn't have a lot of like pull in that department, and they just do not like each other. That's I think the 100% basis for this whole thing. So, you know, Eddie Kingston and MJF made lines alluding to, you know, him fucking with Colt and them not wanting him here. But, you know, he takes the Hangman Page thing real seriously. So, program with Mox heads into All Out, which was Sunday, September 4th. I worked that day, and I was super excited to get home and watch the show, and just desperate to get the fuck out of that building. It was not a fun night, let me tell you. Anyway, so program going in All Out, Punk ultimately wins the AEW Championship off of Mox. Side note, Moxley is supposed to go on vacation, as he would have deserved to, because he's had, like I said, a fucking crazy 2022, and he just spent 3 months, you know, holding the company up while the champion was hurt. So, in the post-show media scrum, Punk starts talking mad shit about the Elite. Like he calls them fucking children, accuses Hangman Page of trying to sabotage like the company having a $1 million gate, which is like huge, obviously. All this stuff. And then there's a guy in the media scrum who apparently was at one point friends with Colt Cabana too, and Punk knew this. And I looked at that dude, started fucking going off about people keep pointing this thing out with me and Colt Cabana. I haven't had anything to do with Colt Cabana in 5 years, and we haven't been friends, we haven't spoken. Like, I stay away from him, he stays away from me, and like these fucking people like spreading rumors about me and all this stuff, and it's just like totally out of nowhere. And the dude, and I mean even the dude who like spawned this thing, he wasn't gonna ask about Colt Cabana. He even like cut in and was like, hey, I don't have anything to do with that guy anymore. We worked on a project a few years ago. That's like, we're not friends or anything. I wasn't gonna mention him. And then curiously, Punk then says like, you blew up my spot. We find out later on that he planned this. He knew that guy was gonna be there, and he was like, up to 2 weeks earlier, allegedly, someone said, he was planning on going off like this at the scrum, right? So then after that, after the scrum, no, not even after the scrum, during the scrum, because Punk went first, right? Because they pulled him straight from the ring to do this. Then he went to the back afterwards. One of the things he said was like, hey, if you got a problem with anything I said, my door's open. Who has a problem with it? But some of the chief guys he was talking shit about, Kenny Omega, Nick and Matt Jackson, guys who started the company, right? They go into Punk's locker room, and now this is all like speculation, alleged like stories and stuff, but like it's pretty much get into a huge fight between the four of them, and like other people. Ace Steel, the dude who actually trained CM Punk, he's been an agent with AEW for a while. Ace Steel, Pat Buck, another agent, like a bunch of dudes who are like back there getting this huge kerfluffle, right? And everyone involved gets suspended. Just like immediately, everyone involved gets suspended. So, and not only did like this, it was wild, because not only did CM Punk win the AEW title that night, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks won the Trios titles that night. First ever Trios champions, brand new AEW champion, and just stripped Zoe. of the titles immediately. Like, don't even get to take the belts out of the arena. Everyone's suspended. Tournament to hold, like, you know, they're just like a big pre-announced 6-man match. Get the trios titles. Goes on Death Triangle. Fucking awesome. Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta El Zero Miedo. Awesome wrestlers. Perfect guys for like something like the trios titles. And they hold a big tournament to crown the new AEW champion, because they vacate that belt too, right? Ultimately comes down to Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. Mox wins. Poor guy. Doesn't get to take his vacation yet. Had a banger match with Juice Robinson that just this week. Just hard hitting between the two. I thought Juice broke his arm at one point. Great stuff. Like the caliber matches you expect from Jon Moxley. Anyway. And like none of that shit is resolved. The Elite is not back yet. Kenny Omega particularly just came back from a huge mega list of injuries. He's back for like 2 weeks and now he's already out. The Bucks are still out. Punk is still out. It's pending legal investigation. So like it's expected Punk is just not coming back. Like they think he's gonna like they're gonna buy out his contract, or they're gonna fire him, or he's gonna just leave, or which, you know, he leaves, it's precedented. And like the Bucks, like, so like they're not expecting the Elite back until all that shit's resolved either. It's wild stuff. Wild stuff. Anyway, so that was my Games of the Month discussion for September of 2022. Game of the Month, Save Room, for sure. Highly recommend it. And thank you for joining me today. I sincerely hope you join me tomorrow as well, as we check out the first episode of the award-winning, award-nominated, multi-time, the unfavorite Resident Evil 6. Until then, I'm technically Rudo. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be back with more streams and more games, because now that I've finished this gigantic project, you know, I don't have to spend all of my time working just on that, which is exciting. I feel like, you know, I go to work and stuff, and I feel like I can't talk to anybody because I'm just working on this video, and I like, oh, it's fine. It is fine. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna be back with more Mass Effect. I'd like to, but it probably won't be until after they oh my god, I didn't even talk about this. They fucking announced 4 Like a Dragon games. 4 coming out. Like a Dragon 8. Like a Dragon, the man who gave up his name, whatever that's called. That, you know, Sergio Leone, Clint Eastwood film sounding ass title. We're getting Like a Dragon Ishin, the samurai game, okay? And on that day they were like, by the way, the Judgment series is just out on PC now. I got that. I would love to do the first Judgment on stream too. There's too many games, so little time to be streaming. Because, you know, we got Persona 5, we got Resident Evil 8, we got Judgment, we got Mass Effect. So I hope you join me. And this video is much longer than I meant it to be. I was basically planning on timing it out to end when I finished my tea, but thank you for joining me. Have an excellent night. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.